Bitcoin nearing the $35,000 mark again after topping it for the first time since May of 22 yesterday. The crypto has doubled in price this year. Signals that the SEC will clear a path for the Bitcoin spot ETF are certainly fueling the bulls. But what else is behind this? For more, let's talk to Ryan Rasmusis, crypto research analyst at Bitwise Asset Management. Welcome, Ryan. And CNBC.com's crypto markets and investing reporter Tanea Makil is here on set with us. Tanea, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start by running through some of the litany. It seems a lot of this is the ETF, but then, okay, why still today? You know, I do wonder if this is a little bit, is it a kind of dollar risk? You tell me, what are people saying about why Bitcoin is at 35 nearly again?
Well, it's a unique asset, so it's a little bit of everything. The investor base is kind of a mixed bunch. So definitely a lot of speculation around the ETF. I wouldn't write it off as just speculation. There is a lot of momentum building around that case. We've had, both Mike Novogratz and Kathy Wood from ARK recently on CNBC talking about how the shift in tone, the SEC is shifting in tone, and it is looking more likely like they're engaging with the community on getting this happening. On the other hand, there's also the rates. If you look at what happened on Monday, you saw the 10-year yield touch 5% and then fall down again. High rates, historically bad for Bitcoin. So there was a little bit of that as well. And then there is, another narrative where the rates can be a little bit of a catalyst for Bitcoin, because even if you don't see it as a safe haven, it is a safe haven in crypto. So what you've been seeing throughout the crypto market all year is the dominance of Bitcoin in the market climbing since January. So basically, because of that high rate environment, we've seen resilience in the Bitcoin price, even in the face of, 4 or something interest rate hikes. But you do see a lot of crypto native investors leaving other crypto assets that are much, much riskier because of yield fears and putting that money into Bitcoin.
Ryan, let me turn to you. I'm quizzical about Bitcoin because it is an asset that has no evident intrinsic value and whose price is set purely by the demand and the supply in the marketplace. And if demand, I would guess you're going to answer me in the affirmative here, that the reason Bitcoin is rising in price is the anticipatory demand that is coming if there are Bitcoin ETFs, because it will widen the market so much and so many more people will have access to it. Easy.
That's right. A Bitcoin ETF is a huge unlock for investors who haven't been able to allocate to Bitcoin or to crypto as an asset class for its past 15 years in existence. So that's why we think at Bitwise, a Bitcoin ETF is the biggest thing to happen to Bitcoin since it was created in 2009. 80% of wealth in America hasn't historically had access to Bitcoin. So we do think that the upcoming spot Bitcoin ETF is going to be a huge influx of demand. And like you said, it's a commodity. Its price is set by supply and demand. And we see a clear sign that demand will be climbing in the near to long term.
What will these Bitcoin, I gather BlackRock has an application out there. Wisdom Tree may have an application. There are probably others. What will these ETFs actually own? Physical Bitcoin? Or
yes.
I mean, it's not physical, it's digital, but.
Yeah, so these spot Bitcoin ETFs will own the underlying Bitcoin itself. People will allocate into these ETFs. The ETF will go out and purchase Bitcoin on the market. And that's exactly why we think it's so bullish for the price of Bitcoin, is because you're going to have this constant influx of demand on Bitcoin as an asset. So it'll hold the underlying asset. That's why people are so excited about a spot Bitcoin ETF, because it's the first time that you've been able to own the underlying asset in this ETF wrapper. So for every dollar goes into an ETF for spot Bitcoin, $1 of Bitcoin will be bought off the open market.
And Tanea, what are people saying about whether this is just the last gasp of a run? I mean, again, is it facing more serious headwinds going forward if liquidity is generally tightening?
Liquidity has been a big issue all year, really kind of hampered it. We forget that, although Bitcoin is up as much as it is right now, and it has doubled its year-to-date gains just this week, a lot of analysts are saying that even with all of these positive catalysts, it's going to be hard to see Bitcoin reach another all-time high because of the rising rate environment. So, looking at levels, I think that actually has helped a lot of investors. Rob Ginsburg from Wolf has often said over the last several months, as long as it's not dipping below 25K, that key support that we've been watching all year, he's going to remain long on it. And it is exciting for investors because it has really been stuck in this very narrow range of between 25K and 30K. So, holding at about 34.7 right now, a lot of analysts saying that if it can hold at 32, and we'll see how long it hangs out here, but a lot of positive catalysts behind it. And if it can hang at 32, that gives it room to run to about 38 to 40.
Today we have to leave it there. Ryan Rasmussen. I almost called you Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Rasmussen. Take it, man. It's good. Ryan Rasmussen, thank you very much. Appreciate you both being here.